laundry garden and welcome back on this wonderful July evening. This month has started on a really hot, dry spell. We've been doing a lot of watering, trying to keep things going. But that's summer, and last year we had a very wet summer. So this is definitely making up for it. We're going to start in the house garden and we'll have a little look around and just take in what's looking beautiful right now. So this part of the garden, I would probably say, is always at its best during May and June. And when we get to this time of year, things can start to look a little bit tired, but I quite like that relaxed feel about this area. The echinops are all out. This golden marjoram is going great guns and the butterflies love it as well. The lavender is just over on there, so that'll be getting a snip soon. And the sedums, this is definitely their time from now onwards. This sedum here is sedum matrona. Can we have a close-up? This sedum here is sedum matrona, and I think this is definitely the year for it. They perform fantastically in hot climates, and it didn't do so well last year, so this year it's looking the best I think I've ever seen it. The Nepeta is due to have its summer haircut, which I'll do in another video to show you how I do it. And the box will be getting a clip. Now normally we will have clipped the box by now, but because we've had so much hot, dry, sunny weather, we've avoided it, because clipping box in the heat and in too much sunshine can scorch the growth on it. But it's actually not looking too bad. I think we're due a good crop of plums. This is Victoria plum, and there's nice fruits on here. We were meant to have this fan trained against this wall, but it's not gone according to plan. I think Tom will be giving this hedge a clip fairly soon. But at certain times of the day, when the sun clips the top of the hedge, it looks absolutely beautiful. All of the foxgloves are over now, but their seed heads are really starting to ripen. And if we give some of them a little shake, we can get some foxgloves. But not next year, but quite definitely the year after. Now I love this combination. Now this persicaria has finally come out. It started flowering. Because we've had quite a lot of sun, some of its leaves are looking a little bit more scorched than usual, or paler even. But the allium seed heads and the acer, the whole combination is very pleasing to the eye. So we'll move quickly on to Regent Street, where I'd like to show you something looking beautiful there. And here they are. These roses are ground cover roses, and they're usually in flower now in July and can flower right up until Christmas sometimes. This is Rose Cheshire, and it's probably one of the thorniest roses in the garden, and I would probably say one of the healthiest as well. And it gets cut right to the ground during the winter months. And look at this, you would never think so, would you? And right next to it here is something else I'd like to show you. This is a Catinus, and I can never pronounce it correctly, but Catinus cogigria royal purple, the smoke bush, more known as. Look, I love these plumes that come off some of the ends of these branches. It's glorious. Oh, and we've got some more repeat flowers. This is Darcy Bustle, and she reliably gives a second flush of flowers around this time of year. And there are, look, lots and lots of buds coming. Delicious fragrance. I'll move quickly on to the back into the hall garden. I love lavender, I really do. And can you believe that I only started with some lavender just along the side here that a girlfriend gave to me, so I'm not 100% sure what variety it is. And then over the years it's seeded itself right the way along here, and I've never taken any of them out, just left them in. And this is always a bee magnet. All lavender is a bee magnet, but this one probably is the most. The bees adore it. And all you can hear is, if you were to be out here at this time of day, all you would hear is the hum of the bees. It's wonderful. And even though they say to cut lavender now, I leave it until the bees have finished collecting everything they want from all these lovely flowers. Wonderful. Now this part of the garden really comes into its own at this time of year, with the lavender, the golden marjoram, and this fiery Crocosmia lucifer, which we have moved from another part of the garden because this spreads quite quickly, but it loves it here and it performs incredibly. We've also got the Kephalaria, and at the very back you might just see a little bit of a haze of blue. That is from the chicory family. That's been a plant that was given to me also, but we still haven't fully discovered its actual name, but it's definitely from the chicory family of sorts. And then we've got this great big rosemary, and then we've got this daisy that's coming up through here. But it all just comes together, and I very rarely look after this part of the garden because it gets on with its own thing. This here always collapses at this time of year, and I probably ought to cut the flowers off when they get too big, but I actually don't mind, but I think we probably will cut them in the next few days. And also the erigeron. Isn't it beautiful? It just lights up this area. These crab apples are probably due a haircut as well soon, but you can just see all the crabs, all these crab apples everywhere. And then as we just move around the corner, one of my absolute favourite trees in the garden. Look at it. This is the catalpa, and it's wonderful. Huge leaves. It's the last tree in the whole garden to come into leaf, and my goodness, it is worth every second of that waiting for it to finally bring out this amazing show. I love it. Its common name is the Indian bean tree. And last year it did throw out some of the beans, and I'm not sure if it does every year. It doesn't seem to have any this year. It might throw out some later on. One more thing that I probably don't talk about very often are these stone troughs. We've deliberately planted them up with plants that can withstand little or no water. Things like these sedums, which have slightly taken over. I think I planted several different types of sedums, and there's a variegated one in here, a few weeds as well, and a little bit of erigeron that's decided to jump in for fun. But look at this. Isn't it beautiful? I can't remember the last time I actually watered this, but look how alive they are, which goes to show that right plant, right place. And then in the next one, I've got a little bit of thyme, and I've got this sage. It is sage, isn't it? Yes. I love the smell of this. All doing pretty well, actually. Rosemary, maybe a little bit less so, but otherwise, I'd say fairly maintenance free. Right, we'll head straight over to the dragon next. Another plant I walked straight past before is this. This is Hydrangea palmata. See, I can get that one right. And this is an absolute fascination for many, many people when they visit here, purely because of its extremely dark stems and its unusual shaped leaves on how they are sitting opposite one another, and how the flowers come out of the top here. This will begin flowering probably around next month, I'd say. So on my August tour, we'll certainly have another look at this when it's starting to flower. It's absolutely beautiful. It's got butter yellow sort of trumpet flowers. It's gorgeous. And I think this is much bigger than what it was last year. Love it. Moving on to the dragon. If some of you watched my previous video, I show adding a few extra plants in here, and some of them are flowering, like these heleniums here, which are looking great. And these are clear. This is Achillea terracotta. Absolutely gorgeous. And I've got some more heleniums about to flower. The gems went in quite small, so they're taking a little bit longer. And now you can see just in the corner that persicaria that we moved is looking a little bit dry, so that'll get a drink tonight, as well as probably the aces as well. So I need to keep an eye on some of these newly planted plants and shrubs. But on the whole, looking pretty good. Now, I didn't give any of this the Chelsea chop this year, and for that reason you'll notice there's a gaping big gap where the sedum has collapsed. But that's fine. I can't be on top of it every year, but it does show that it would be more compact if I had cut it back earlier in the season. Now, on to my favourite part of the garden at this time of year. This is where the Hydrangea Annabelles are, and they are just looking like clouds from heaven. They really are looking amazing. But we have had a very, very hot and sunny few days, which they've not liked very much. So we're giving them a bit of a good drink this evening, which has helped, actually. It's helped a lot. We gave them a bit of a drink last night as well. But as we come amongst them, it's really quite wonderful. The bees are loving them. Some of them have collapsed a little bit, falling down around here. But on the whole, with fairly minimal support, we've just supported around the edges. And maybe we should have another little think about how we can support them a little bit more next year. But I'm fairly happy. You can just see this section here. And I think the reason why this section gets a little bit more hit is because it's where the wind hits it. It's a funny old spot, this area. So we'll probably try and work out some sort of a framework to help support them a little bit more. Oh, that sun, this evening sun is gorgeous. Oh! So the majority of the roses, the Gertrude Jekyll is about to start its second flush, so it's put on some new growth and it's looking great. Darcy Bostle again, lots and lots of new growth, new buds and some new flowers, which is lovely. Again, the Lady Emma Hamilton and Woollerton Old Hall will give us some more flowers a little bit later on. Now the fig tree. We have got a lot of figs, which I definitely think will be fairly ripe in another month, I'd say. But there's quite a few. Oh, it smells lovely, these leaves. Oh, this is beautiful in here. Feel that sun. Now the hydrangeas either side of the doorway here this summer are starting to look quite shriveled and dry, and some of them scorched even. Can you believe this is the north side of the wall garden, which is where you'd expect hydrangeas to be okay? So I'm very, very tempted to move them somewhere else. But so far, a lot of things are not looking too bad. And if I'm going to water anything, I have to be really quite selective about it. This is a full bed of asters, which we should have in flower probably by late August, early September. And if you look at the very, very back, we've got the Maclear plume poppy. See how tall it gets? Huge! Now we think the wall is approximately 12 foot high, and some of those taller plumes are almost to the top of the wall, which is insane. I'm corrected, 11 foot, sorry darling. Now these two pots, I did a video on planting these up, and they are just slowly coming into their prime. And another month or so, they're going to keep getting better and better and better. And they're loving this dryness, which is why I chose the salvia, the sanguisorba, the grass. They all don't mind being a little bit dry. These only get a watering once a week maybe. I mean, they're pretty big pots, so they can hold on to quite a bit of moisture anyway. But that's one thing that I have to bear in mind. If ever I plant any pots inside this garden, they need to be fairly tough and drought resistant. And they're looking good. Oh, look at this echinacea. Now you can find out everything that's in these pots in my video. Moving down here, this beautiful pink Nepeta. I'll probably be cutting this right back to the ground in the next week or two, as well as the blue Nepeta. There's a few things that are looking quite dry in here now, but there are also a few things like this looking quite amazing. Look at that. Do you remember the name of this? Teasel, that's the one. Now this is one plant that I've recently moved from another section of the garden, and that is this, which the bees also like. This here is called Francoa, and it has low growing foliage but these lovely long tall flower spikes with these beautiful sort of lavendery purpley flowers. And I planted it here purely because it starts to flower after the rose buff beauty goes over, so it gives me a little bit more interest. Beautiful. Oh, this sage, I love this purple sage. I love how it just spills out onto the pathway and has this lovely difference in colour to the leaves, where they start with that deep sort of purpley colour, then fade to the green as the leaves mature. Gorgeous. This loves dry as well, so this is looking great. Again, if we look at the very back, we've got that blue flowering chicory sort of flower, which is doing quite well actually. It's looking good, and that's where I took a clump off for the one round the back of the house. These blue flowers here are Indigofera. I'm hoping to get my hands on a slightly pinkier version of this as well from a local lady. As we move on to this other west border here, we've got this lovely combination going on with this Persicaria and this Hemerocalis. This Hemerocalis didn't flower last year, and I think that was partly because it was so wet and it wasn't very happy about it. But it's beautiful. It's really going great guns. Now this was given to me, so I'm afraid I don't know the variety of it. But this daylily is certainly loving this drier weather. And then we've got this lovely Naughtia here, which the bees do love. I've been trying to deadhead this, which I think has helped keep the flowers going. It's so pretty. So this is Rosemore, which is just coming to the end of its flowering. But behind, we've got the beautiful Physocarpus. Stunning. I do love the Physocarpus. I love the colour of its leaves. And that will start flowering soon. If we just come down here, now I've deadheaded pretty much all of the peonies along here apart from these, and that's because I'm absolutely fascinated by their seed heads. Look, aren't they gorgeous? Oh, look at this one now. So this one has started, I don't know, I think they've probably opened. Fascinating. Feverfew's gone a little bit mad in here. I might have to pull some of this out. We've also got a nice big weed there. You cannot see the rose anymore. But if we look right at the back, which is slowly coming into flower now, that is a Eupatorium. Quite a giant one as well. And that will be flowering during the month of August and even into September as well. It's a beautiful late flowering perennial. We've been having lots of discussions about this corner recently. Oh, shall I? Yes, I'll let you in on what we've been talking about. Only quickly. As I stand looking behind me here, we've talked about creating a sunken area where we can put in the corner a fire that Tom has, have that as somewhere to sit around on a summer's evening or even a winter's evening. But I think I'll talk more in depth nearer the time that we might do it, but it's going to be great. Somewhere else to sit. This has been fantastic. Throughout the whole of June, these poppies have been absolutely gorgeous. And I've loved how everything has just seeded itself and done its own thing. But now, this is the moment where I have to think very hard on how it needs to look from now right up until the first frosts. So I've been doing quite a bit of thinking on how we're going to plant up this area this autumn and what we're going to place in here throughout this area. But it's been fun. It's been nice to let things seed around, be quite playful. I'm hoping all of this will come back again next year. I'm sure the poppies will if I leave them in. But it's been looking lovely. Really, really nice. But look at this. These are Ami Majus, and these were growing here last year actually, and clearly they seeded themselves and I didn't really notice. But look at it, on how they've just come back this year with no help, just come back of their own accord. So obviously a few seeds from the ones we had last year and off they go. Amazing. I am 5'3", and I will probably say the tallest one in here must be at least 7 or 8 foot. Amazing. I love it. Moving on to the cutting garden, and it has been pretty much a success since my son's wedding. We have grown quite a few things in here, including the sweet peas, the achillea, and the larkspur. Unfortunately, the larkspur wasn't ready in time. We had a few sweet peas, but not quite as many as what we've got now, of course. But it's been nice to grow them because it's galvanized me to want to grow them again next year. And this rose hedge that we planted in the autumn, which I did a video of as well, is looking quite spectacular for its first year as well. And the crab apples are really throwing out lots of new shoots, which is great. Look at that. So many new buds as well. And then we've got all the seed heads from the nigella, which are really quite unusual, some of them. I love how they have this nice dark stripe. So I've been picking some of these for drying. This, I think, is, I think it's amaranthus that was grown last year, and this is seeded itself, which apparently it does do. But it's amazing. Tough as anything. I don't think I've watered it very much at all. And then we've got the achillea. I think this is Violet Beauty. But I have completely fallen in love with larkspur. And we've got 3 different varieties in here. And they've been incredible. I've started to dry some of them as well, where I basically just pick them from the base and then hang them upside down and dry them in a nice sort of dark, dry area inside the house. But I've been picking and picking. I mean, they're all probably almost over now. I should try and pick a few more before they're completely over, and try and dry a few more. They're just gorgeous. It's almost like confetti. It's gorgeous. Some nice flower heads coming on these. All of these are new. And I definitely say by August, my August video, I would like to say all of these will be flowering by then. In fact, they will be, definitely. Really quite excited to see these. Now this, I think, is called Malope. Is that Malope or Lavatera? I can't remember. This has only just started flowering this week. How beautiful is that? I must stop picking it. The cosmos are starting to flower. And then you can see there's a row of dahlias just on the far side there, which are flowering already. They're all from floret that were grown from seed last year. Look at these. I think most of these, if not all of them, are called Bee's Choice. And this is just going to be full of flowers pretty soon. Oh, look at this one. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. I'm going to pick some sweet peas this evening. I wish you could smell them. They've been incredible. Absolutely beyond what I even expected. Some of them are going to seed now, but they've been a triumph. There's just one more area I'm going to show you before I say goodbye, and that is this one over here. I can't go without showing you the dahlia corners, can I? Again, these have started flowering. I might pick a few this evening. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, so we have this corner, which we just need to do a little bit more staking. We made a start last weekend, and then we've got a little bit more left to do. And either side, we have this Verbena Bampton, which has seeded itself from 3 plants that I bought years and years ago. And you can see it seeds around everywhere. Once it's happy and there's plenty of dry ground for it to seed in, it loves it. And I filled this whole corner and that whole corner with it, and just a few in front of the other dahlias over there. And then I've just got this dahlia corner over here, which again, it's going to be completely billowing with dahlias come next month. I've got quite a few dahlias coming now. One is my favourite. I just have to show you. And that is this one. This is Wine-Eyed Jill. Absolutely love it. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And there's a few others flowering just back there. I hope you've enjoyed that as much as I have. Tom's been rolling his eyes. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this beautiful, beautiful month. Until next time, I will see you soon. Bye.